it's you, bro. It's your confidence. It's what you go in there and what you carry into that cage. A lot of times, guys will go in there and they have a false confidence, or they don't um, put out what they know they can do every day in the gym, whether it's nerves or whatever it is. So as you get a little bit of confidence there, where I am now, you got to get through some adversity a lot of times, and some guys don't come back from it. Some guys can't find that confidence in there. Those guys, they don't really offer nothing. They just it's all the guys, man. It's all a mirage, and they just a regular
Mm,
motherfucker in the gym. If we was sparring and I was in the gym with them and they was in the gym with me, it'd just be another day.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Now, you just gotta get rid of the smoke and mirrors that gets played out there by the media and the business of the sport.
right.
This guy's coming from the mountains, but fuck that nigga, bro. Like I come from St. Louis. What's
Right,
up?
right,
Like it don't matter, bro. Like
right.
the work you put in gonna speak for itself.
Cold nights
You
is
can
cold
put
nights,
you
nigga.
can put work in no matter where you at.
Right,
Look at
exactly.
Bilal. He in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. He in Planet Fitness. He in the mountains. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like he working. He
Uh-huh.
finding it. He like, yeah, he linking with the right people now. But he always been that worker. You know what I'm saying? He always been finding a way to get it, and that's respectful. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, people gonna respect that. So he from where he
And
from? He from America.
right, exactly,
You know what I'm
right. And I'm
saying?
glad
So
that you brought that up because I know the story, but obviously, man, to my viewers and the people at home, they don't know. But you got the opportunity to train out in Thailand, and you got to be out there for a minute. And what was it? Part of a sponsor thing that you was on, where it was able to get you out there, to fly you out there to train with Tiger Muay Thai.
nah,
And
nope, no sponsors.
oh,
I was
okay.
working 3 jobs. I
Mm.
saved my money, and I knew I was planning on to move to Cali at the time to train at Team Oyama, with my ex that I was dating at the time, cause we trained at the same gym and stuff, and we had made a plan to go to Cali, but you know for years I have been watching the tryouts for Tiger Muay Thai. I was like, I always wanted to go to Thailand, and I'm big on like learning a martial art from his root. So at the time, I had saved up the money, and then I had reached out, and like 2 months before I was supposed to go to Cali, they reached back and was like, you want to come out and do these tryouts? If you win the sponsorship, if you're selected from these 40 something people from all over the world that are high level prospects, high level amateurs, high level pros, then you'll get a 1 year scholarship to. We'll pay for your living and your training for 1 year. And I'm like, okay, I got money saved up. I got to do it because I've been watching this shit for years. I want to do it.
Right, right,
So
right.
I went out there on the humbug. You know, spent most of my money on a flight.
Yeah.
Bought a hot plate when I landed. Was eating ramen noodles and cooking my food in my room and training. I went out there for 2 weeks. Did the tryouts. Earned a spot. They selected 3 people. And the rest is history. I was out there, and then COVID hit while I was out
Yeah, I
there.
was
So I
just
was
about to
out
bring
there.
that. I was
I was
just about
out
to
there
bring that
longer
up.
than I
Yeah.
was supposed to be because COVID hit. I couldn't
Uh-huh.
get any MMA fights. So by the time I came back, I had been living on $50 a month in Thailand, eating food off a hot plate, finding ways to MCing at clubs, trying to find ways to make a little bit of money here, and just grinding on my own a lot with my boy Bam, Devin Morris,
Mm-hmm.
and just finding ways, hit miss with him, and it was just a tough time during COVID because in Thailand, it's a third world country. They shut everything down, the gyms down, even Tiger Muay Thai, everything, and the police out there is very like at the time they were suffering too because they depend on tourism. So they see a foreigner, they pulling them over, give them like minimal tickets all the time. So you don't want to drive your bike around no more. You don't
Right,
want to go
right.
to the beach. So it
Cause
was
they
a tough.
asked for that little
It
cut.
was tough, man.
Yeah.
They gonna charge. They 600 baht here,
Mm.
800
Well, how
baht
much is
there.
600 baht for everybody?
It's like 20-30 bucks here every
Uh,
time you get a ticket. You know what I'm
uh-huh.
saying? But I was living off $50 a month, so one ticket now I'm fucking through. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I ain't driving this bike nowhere. I'm running everywhere. I'm doing what I need to. I don't leave the walking street, which is where Tiger Muay Thai was, because I don't need to. I live here. They paying for my stay still. They give me 1 meal a day now because COVID's tough. So I would plan 1 meal a day there. I would cook my breakfast and my dinner there.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a time, man. And what's special is I was just speaking to someone about this. It was like everybody who was around me during that time who was in Thailand have done great, gone on to do great things. The head coach is opening a new gym at Bang Tao, which was the Hickman brothers and Alex Volkanovsky, like kind of sponsored that, and the jiu-jitsu coach Alex as well. He kind of like spearheaded that whole thing, and they got a dope thing at Bangtao. You see GSP out there. You see all these big names out there now. Dope vibe. They had years of learning how to do things with Tiger Muay Thai, running the head coach as a head coach there. So it was a beautiful situation. And I don't know, man. Thailand was a vibe, bro. Like Thailand, I got to learn something from his root. I took Muay Thai fight, so it really, when I came over here and I finally got back, getting back was hard enough. But when I finally got back, I was just ready to go. It had been almost 2 years. I had seen Brandon Royval now getting ready, getting the top 10. He was pushing for a top 10 spot.
And the reason why you bring
knocking
him up,
people out.
The reason why you bring him up is
because I fought him in the LFA right before I went to Thailand and lost a split decision. In a fight that a lot of people thought I won, the second and third round, he whooped my ass in the first round. I ain't do well in the first round, and the second, third round was back and forth. And I did really well against him. And then he went on to win the LFA championship in those 2 years, and then getting the UFC and knock boys out and getting the top 10. So I'm watching all this from Thailand, and I'm sparring with Peter Yan for his Uriah Faber camp, and I'm sparring with these high-level guys, and I'm just building my confidence, and I'm just like itching to get back. When I got back, went on my LFA title run. And the rest is history. I'm in the UFC now. And so, I was always big on learning something from his root. I never was exposed to mixed martial arts in my youth until I turned 21. I started fighting when I was 21. So we talk about it all the time. We YouTube learners, right? We YouTube martial artists. And movies, right? And movies. So we watch this and we finna go try some shit.
Yeah, of course.
We watch this and we finna go try some shit, right? And then we got our homeboys around us that we picked and played with to build ourselves into where we was. Just the kick you learn you used to do on the bag, just train and do
off the strength.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
my man Edrick
highlight kick, right?
What you say about that kick?
This ain't gonna work.
Ain't gonna work. Then look, greatest knockout in history of the MMA, UFC at least. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's just beautiful to see where things are right now, and we on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC.
Yeah. Speaking of that 3-fight win streak, you're a guy who I think the world has known how talented you are, but in the last 3 fights, we've just seen a different sense of urgency, I would say. It just seems like the performances have finally caught up to the talent. What's the difference in these last 3 fights?
A little bit of it is opponent. Obviously, you need styles make fights, opponents make fights. A lot of times when I got into the UFC, I was fighting grapple-based guys who were mostly focused on winning competitions, it felt like. I can't speak for anybody, but you got to go in there and you still got to perform. And it's just anytime you fight a wrestle-based person wrestling, it's the wrestling. It's not the jiu-jitsu, because I kill every jiu-jitsu-based guy I fight. I destroy them. It's the wrestle-based guys who have that mindset, who can go through adversity, and they're also really skilled grapplers. That's a tough fight for anyone in any weight class, because they can control and dictate the action at any moment with the wrestling. So you got to find a way to build yourself into a athlete and a mixed martial artist that can deal with that adversity and still be yourself. So my first few fights, I'm fighting guys that are wrestle-based guys, the best wrestlers in the division, and putting myself against the archetype of fighter that's my toughest matchup, really. But I was taking risk on myself. My wife was pregnant with my baby girl. I ain't got shit in my bank account. I ain't got a car yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm living with my teammate, who's a blessing, Michael Gilmore, living in his basement at the time. And, I just had to take every risk I could. My first fight, I signed for $12,000. I was in London. I made $7,800 from that fight. Really, that ain't shit. My first few fights, I ain't make money. If you lose, you don't make money. I'm actually against the ball, because I gotta pay for my cornerman. I gotta pay for my training. I gotta do all this shit. So, I think the biggest thing was the opponent. And finding people that actually would take risk and fight me. Like, you gonna fight me, or you gonna win a competition, and then having to grow as a wrestler and work on those skill sets. And so I think I'm in a place right now where I'm being very offensive. I know that the defense is there, the mindset shift is there, Edrick, and the confidence is there. And I know what pace I have to set in a 3-round fight to really get the fight where it favors me. We knew in the 5-round what I could do, but now we're seeing in 3 rounds, I can max people in 3 rounds So when I transition to 5 rounds, be the best 3-round fighter in the world,
Okay.
flyweight. You know.
Well, speaking of styles, you know what I mean? Your boy, heavily, Micaiah, right? The great wrestler that he is, you know what I'm saying? What do you feel about that whole situation that happened? And in the future, do you feel like if you running back into another wrestler type, do you feel like you have the tools to beat these fighters now?
Yeah, it's no more wrestlers at the level of Micaiah. Micaiah was the best wrestler in our weight class. Cody Durden was the second best wrestler in our weight class. But Cody Durden didn't beat me with wrestling, he beat me with jiu-jitsu. Micaiah beat me with wrestling, dominance, just get into a position and controlling. He didn't fight me well. When it was time to fight me, he didn't do well in those scenarios, but it was time to make it a competition in wrestling. He exceeded expectation. He beat me in transitions, and he did a really good job of getting to control positions. So it's nobody else in the weight class that could do that to me. Only guys left are the few wrestlers left. They're too little.
You said too little, like who?
They
Name
too
some
little.
names,
And
nigga.
they
We
ain't
hear
got
the names,
They're too
dog.
little and they don't got no lungs. You know what I'm saying? They can't sustain what they would have to sustain through 3 rounds at the pace that I'm pushing.
Okay, what names though?
It don't matter because
I said what
they all
names?
He said
injured.
everybody.
They all injured.
They all-
They all injured and hurt. All the dudes in the rankings is injured and hurt, and
Crazy.
other ones is they favor me because they strikers. So all the wrestlers left in the weight class, they too little. I'm talking to Albazis. I'm talking to even Pantoja. He's not a wrestler. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. He too little. I will destroy him when it comes to striking. But we saw in the Brandon Royval fight, it don't matter about putting volume out. You got to really be able to handle those transitions, jiu-jitsu, and get out of those grappling situations he's going to put you in because he's a dog. He's the doggest of dogs in the weight class. He wins fights by just being, I'm finna go in here and be a dog a lot of times and out-mentalities people, Pantoja. And I always envied that about his game. Like, he just going to go and bully ball all these dudes, and that's what he does, But he has the jiu-jitsu black belt, that amazing jiu-jitsu black belt that he can always fall back on in tough situation, right? And so you're not gonna beat me with jiu-jitsu, brother. You're not. I am the toughest fight in the weight class. I am for everyone, and they know that. And people starting to see that. It's not many grapplers left, and Micaiah just got his walking papers.
All right, okay, yeah, he did.
Cody,
Man, so what did you think about this? So what did you think about
Durden
that?
just lost.
Right,
He was
right.
He's a 7-minute fighter, and after that 7 minutes, he lost the fight. Cody Durden could be a champion if it was a 7-minute fight. He would be champion. His first 7 minutes and all his fights he wins. And when he fought Chris Gutierrez at 135, destroyed him, and then lost the second and third round. He's a great wrestler too. You know what I'm saying? But I probably won't see him again. I'm going this way. And these guys
Out the door.
as
Micaiah, a PFL champion. That's all I'm asking.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. That's all I was asking.
Potentially that 135 weight class is tough. I don't even know who's in it, but I think it's a lot of 145ers. They drop down to 35. They big boys. They tough guys, but he can beat anybody. He's 23, and we saw this fight that what stood out to me the most was his kicks. His dexterity and his hips and how he's opening up his game. His kick and chain and how he's able to open up. He threw that Barboza a spinning back kick. And
Yeah, he did
hit dude in the forehead. And I'm like, if he put a little bit more on that and a little bit more confidence on that, he would have put him out with that. So he throwing shit out there and getting confident in there. He's 23, man, 7-fight win streak in the UFC. Got his walking papers. He gonna go somewhere, be a world champion, make millions of dollars, get sponsors. Sky's the limit for that kid. I never throw shade on nobody. Your story don't got shit to do with mine. Your walk don't got shit to do with mine. And my light gonna continue to shine because I work too hard. So these guys is left in the rankings. They don't fight.
Yeah.
They hurt. They injured. And they don't make weight. So, and the guys that do, they fight once a year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough because of that reason and
Right.
how active I am. I may have to fight guys out
I'm
of the
glad
rankings.
that you brought, and I'm glad you brought it. There's a lot of people that's only out here just fighting once a year, and like people just fail to realize that, right? But you right now,
10th fight coming up. 10th fight coming up in October.
Right, 10th fight is a beautiful thing, right? And you signed when? What year did you sign?
July 25th of 2022. So
People wouldn't even
we
believe
just
it.
passed the 2 year. They treating me like I'm the vet, and I'm still on rookie time.
That is 100, right?
You know, like these dudes that been here just as long as me, they got 3 fights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on number 10 coming up.
Yeah. And people wouldn't be able to fathom that, right? Because people are very quick to forget in this business, right? How much work you didn't put in, or just make up a situation like, oh, he been here longer than what he. And yet again, you only
Because
been
I've
here
been
for 2
so
years.
active. They don't in the you know, these guys is that commentate, man. They don't realize how much their opinion matters.
Right, and I'm
They
mad
do, but they don't.
but they don't even expose that truth, right?
Yeah.
Some things they kind of neglect. You know, they bring up certain shit. You know,
They
what I mean?
have
The Paul Fellas, the DC. No, I'm gonna put their names out there. I
They
don't
got
care.
a storyline, and this is what I'm learning about the business, man. And everything is a business. Every job has its thing, and you gotta learn as you get into that job. You start learning a little bit about it. Some of these guys just don't do their job well as commentators. They were phenomenal fighters. They were phenomenal, and they may have phenomenal opinions, but their job is to be a commentator and commentate on the fight. And many times they lose sight of that, and they fall in love with the story of the fight. They fall in love with the narrative that's coming into it,
There it is.
and they sitting there 3 minutes talking about that narrative as opposed to what's happening. Case in point, I just fought Joshua Van.
Big fight.
At the 3-minute mark. Joshua Van's 22-year-old. Don't really have good first rounds. You know what I'm saying? But he's supposed to be the next big thing. They push him to be a prospect. At the 3-minute mark of the first round, I'm up 28-4 in strikes. All you've heard until this point is this is what Joshua Van does. They're likening him. One of my favorite fighters when I got into UFC, Dominic Cruz, is likening him to Anderson Silva, and literally said it. He's so defensively skilled. This is what he does. And at this point, I'm up 28-4 in strikes. 3 minutes into the first round. The round ends, I'm up 40 to... They gave him 22 lands. He didn't hit me 22 times. I don't know how they count that shit, but it was 40-22 at the end of the round. He picked it up in the last 2 minutes, you know. But at the end of the day, I was still dictating all the action. 2 judges gave him round 1. The narrative of the fight was Van, you know, and how he pushes paces as the rounds go on. Charles Johnson is a cross-country athlete. Charles Johnson's never lost a 3rd round. Charles Johnson never lost a 5th round. He don't lose 4th and 5th rounds. Charles Johnson finishes fights and rounds really well. Charles Johnson's never been outstruck in the UFC by anyone.
Yeah, I ain't heard none of that shit though.
Nah, they just
Right?
They have
So
this-
the narrative was Van. This is what Van does. The pressure.
Right. I ain't heard them say shit about you until you hit that nigga with that uppercut. Oh, Charles!
Charles did a great job making adjustments. No, I didn't make adjustments. I set the volume, dictated the fight from the beginning. If you watch it and you turn off the comments, if you watch it with everything off and you watch it like Charles dictated the action from the start. Everything was dictated by him. Watch the footwork. Charles dictating the footwork. Charles dictating when they wrestle. Charles just shooting shots just to shoot. I watch film a lot. You watch film a lot. We talk about it a lot. You know? I watched Song Yadong versus Corey Sandhagen about 30 times and just emulated Corey Sandhagen's movement. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm fighting him. When I turn southpaw, I'm going to throw this head kick. When I do this, I'm going to do this. Ways to dictate the range, ways to stay on top of things volume-wise.
Ain't true. 10 minutes.
So, you know, I get in there and I'm very proud of the work and effort and what I'm putting in, the volume to put out a product. The thing was, Charles don't start fast. All right, I'm finna throw out as many fucking strikes. I bet you they didn't give me this first round. I still did everything I was supposed to do. 2 judges gave him first round. Don't make sense. It's never gonna make sense. Y'all see what this shirt say? That's what we about. Dude on a 7-fight win streak in the UFC just got released. Bilal won 50 million fights before he got a title fight. You know what I'm saying? Khabib, same thing. It's not about winning fights. No, it is, but that's not the biggest thing. This is what it is. Be undeniable. Make these motherfuckers say your name. That's what my wife keep telling me. Make them say your name. Everybody. The work. Keep doing it. You know? I'm going to leave y'all with that. Be undeniable,
I like
bro.
that.
That's it.
I like that.
Be undeniable.
Don't give them no choice.
They don't have
Step
a
on
choice.
them niggas' neck.
Yeah. Because the
No
wins,
pressure.
you can win all day. They don't give a fuck.
Oh, you ain't lying like that. Because you got a lot of winning motherfuckers in the UFC. Believe it or not. You got a lot of winning
And
motherfuckers.
a lot of them
but-
just sitting in the rankings, right? How many of them getting... You see guys get to titles who are making themselves undeniable on a 2-fight, win 3-fight. Ursay came in. Steve Ursay came in first fight. Fought the number 10 guy. Beat him. Next dude, knocked him out. Third fight, won. No, next dude, beat him.
Yeah, they ain't got the
Third dude, knocked Snell out.
opportunity at least.
Snell leapfrog everybody to a title fight.
You a fool.
Right?
You
Because
foul.
Snell's been in the UFC. He's quality.
Yeah.
What's his one thing?
But I ain't gonna lie, he do be getting knocked the fuck out though.
That chin, that
Yeah.
one chin. Yeah, that chin. Snell, amazing. That chin in kryptonite. And that's the worst thing in fighting, right? Leapfrog them straight to a title. 3 fights
Mm-hmm.
to a title. Guy like me, come and fight Mikhail. Come and fight this dude. Come fight this. Come fight Zargas, who's beat dudes who was in the rankings before he got to the UFC. That nigga got the worst luck in UFC history. 6 split decision losses in a row.
Yes, sir.
That sucks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But fighting these quality guys, Ode Osborne, 9 days notice.
Mm-hmm.
These dudes quality, man. It's nothing given here. So, yeah, be undeniable, baby.
I like that, man.
That's
I
where
love
we
that.
at,
I
and
love
that's
that.
how that's what you've done.
Okay, yes, sir.
That's where you at.
We still trying. We still trying.
But that's where you at, and your next fight gonna show motherfuckers. Your next fight gonna have to show motherfuckers. It's gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no choice.
Right.
In every aspect of the game, not just because Buck can knock people out.
Mm-hmm.
You get to show people I'm undeniable because I can do this, and this, and then I'm doing this, and this. But the main thing is the main thing,
Yes, sir.
right? Like Jalen Hurts say, the main thing is the main thing. What's that? When we fighting, I'm gonna show y'all I'm be undeniable, and that's where we at, bro. So St. Louis, it's up.
I love that.
You know what time it is.
Yeah, because yet again, as much as you active as well, I've been active myself, but you've been the most active within just 2 years. Because I've been with the UFC for 4 years now, and I've been able to
12 fights. How
12
many
fights.
12
yeah,
fights.
12 fights. Thank you. And and that's crazy. That means I was 2 years head start on you, and you still right
I'm about to
behind
catch
me.
your ass by.
Yeah, you got
Cause guess what? I'm gonna have a 5th one in December. Watch. I'm gonna
What?
knock this nigga out, and I'm going for number 5.
Well, hold on. You trying to get 5 in 1 year?
Mm.
Who the last person that did that?
Probably your boy.
Yeah, Kevin
Holland,
Holland.
boy. Big
Good
mouth.
old Kevin Holland
Yeah.
went 5-0 in 1 year. Now that be honest,
It's doable.
Mm.
I got the right opponent next. And how I am is I'm finna put a lot of work into this camp. I'm about to go to Hawaii. Y'all know who there. It's gonna be a good situation for me. About a month. Grind my ass off, come back, and this camp gonna leapfrog me for 2 fights. I'm gonna knock this nigga out, finish this dude, whatever needs to happen, I'm gonna finish him. I'm gonna be undeniable at that point,
like
and
that.
whatever I ask for, as long as I'm healthy, it's gonna happen. And I want to rank the opponent before the year out. So I already set that. I already set
before
that
we end the
standard on
show,
myself.
before we end the show right here, can we get that next name? Once you knock out from
whoever makes sense. It's a lot of
Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan,
it's a lot
wherever
of
you
flyweight
from.
fights. It's
Yeah.
a lot of flyweight fights that are booked right now.
Uh-huh.
So somebody in the top 10, it has to be, because I should be ranked right now. And now that Makhaev's gone, I probably will be ranked in the next week.
Okay.
I might be 15th.
Okay.
I go do what I'm gonna do to Sumu Darji. I'm not looking at anybody under 10. For me, this is the one.
That is the one.
This is the one. This is the last unranked fighter I'm gonna fight in my UFC career.
Call it. Call your shot, dog.
You hear me? So the next dude, I want Brandon Moreno.
Ooh.
But I'm not gonna get him. So it's gonna have to be the loser, Kai Car, France,
You never
and
know.
Usyk.
Don't say you ain't gonna get him. You never know.
They not. We know
never
the
know.
we know the business.
We
He
do know
ranked
the
number
business.
2.
Uh-huh.
He only coming back for super fights. I got a little bit of work to get there, and I know that. I'm honest with myself. So it's gonna be the loser, Kai Car, France, and Usyk, most likely. Or if Tim Elliott get healthy enough and he go win against somebody in the top 10, the winner/loser of that fight, I believe I'll get.
Okay.
Costas finna fight Matt Schnell. That should have been my fight.
Mm.
He 2-2. He got knocked out 2 fights ago and then beat a guy on his first fight in the UFC. We're not gonna say should have been. We got a great matchmaker.
Okay.
But if he beats Snell, or if Snell beats him, give me the winner of that. They should be top 10. And I'm gonna go show you what I do to him.
There it is.
Costa can't fuck with me.
Okay.
My Snell, I'm coming for you.
Okay.
If that happens.
Okay.
It's all love, it's all respect. But
you coming for that
y'all
ass.
know where I'm headed.
Yeah.
Y'all know where I'm headed. Y'all see the work I'm putting in, and it's love, bro. It's respect. It's always respect. We mixed martial artists.
But you got to beat that ass though.
My wife said, make them say my name, bro. That's all that matters.
Say my name. Say my name. Hey, and with
Be
that
undeniable,
right,
baby.
Be undeniable, man.